All right, we're rolling in, and we're HardHeaded Productions, episode 12. We got
Brandon,
Ellis,
and John once again here, back for what's this? Day after Easter, I believe it is, and we're just kind of hanging out and talk some stuff and go from here, man. So,
what's going on? Hopefully, everybody had a good Easter. Family, friends, hang out with friends. That's what I did the whole day. Watched basketball playoffs and just relaxed. Drank a little bit. What did you guys do?
I didn't do much this weekend. I stayed in on Saturday and watched. Ellis came over and we watched some hockey and a little bit of basketball and watched the UFC fights and had a couple of drinks, ordered pizza, and had a good night. And then yesterday I didn't really anything for dinner. I went to dinner with my dad and then started editing some stuff that I needed to edit. So that's pretty much it.
Cool. What did you do?
I had a good time. Come over and hung out with John. Then John hung out with John and his dad. And Sunday went back to Newport to my friend's house and hung out with their family.
Nice.
Had a relaxed evening. A glass of wine, some food. Not bad.
Cool.
So we have a couple things. Obviously, North Korea and the U.S. dealing with them, and then trying to get China to deal with them, and then
South
so they had. So last week, I think after we did our podcast, we dropped that giant bomb in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it killed 36 people.
Yeah, well, it killed 36 fucking terrorists. So.
Yeah,
Actually,
they could have done more.
It's up to 98.
98? Okay.
Yeah, apparently no civilians were involved in that thing at all because it was way out in the middle of nowhere where it was just like basically a terrorist camp, and they're still going to be digging down a while to find probably even more people. So, fuck them. But yeah, they dropped that. A lot of people say Trump did that to kind of as a message to Korea as well, saying, hey, like, this is what the capability we have that isn't even nuclear. So, yeah, Korea's way behind. North Korea's way behind the times when it comes to technology and what they can do. And they had their big parade for their founding father and everything, and then they were going to launch this missile, and apparently it failed.
Yeah.
And then I think North Koreans are blaming the U.S. for sabotaging it somehow. Like they hacked into the Wi-Fi of the thing or something. I guess I don't know. I didn't know North Korea had Wi-Fi. So anyway, yeah. So we have that going on. What I don't know. Ellis, you're a little bit older than I am, and this has been going on for a long time with North Korea. Saber rattling, they used to call it.
Yeah. It's he has nukes so he can get us to bargain with him for certain goods or whatever they want. So that's why he has the nukes. He has nukes to give him some leverage, and that's the only thing that he has in his favor. But he's not as savvy as his father was when it comes to negotiating and foreign policy and whatnot. So it presents a problem. They have a very shaky regime.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's the guy does a lot of stupid shit, just like killing family members and this and that. I mean, that's what you get when you have this totalitarian type thing where one family is in charge of everything, and that family decides, hey, the military's going to be under, and if you go against me at all, we're just going to kill you. And that they've done that for so long now that it's just a bad, I don't know. I hopefully, and it's sad to say this, but hopefully China does step in and do something. And, we owe China a lot of money in our debt and things like that. And, hey, if you want to get paid back in a timely manner, then you need to, take your stepchild over there and take him behind the woodshed and give him a little once-over. So, because their whole, North Korea can't export or import anything with any other countries. They're, so China's their only one. I think they have coal or something. I think it's coal or steel or something.
It's coal and some other raw goods.
Anyway, so North Korea's going on, but I just don't. I don't know.
You think
they're warning of nuclear war? I mean, do you really think this guy's that stupid to start a nuclear war?
Who knows? Honestly, who knows?
It would bring about his end.
Oh, for sure.
Because it
World War III.
You answer. You always answer either equal or greater back. So, and Trump isn't going to take that line down. I mean, he launched a bunch of Tomahawk cruise missiles because the Syrians used a little some gas.
Yeah.
So if Korea does something fucking stupid, it's a ender for them. I mean, the whole Korean peninsula would. I mean, the whole northern Korean peninsula would basically be a parking lot. So I don't know. I hope it doesn't come to that, obviously.
Yeah,
but
hoping not. Dennis Rodman, where are you? You go talk to your boy over there.
And then and then stateside now we have that guy that killed the person on Facebook.
Facebook Live,
Live, and he just pulled up to some 74-year-old man that was coming back from his son's house or something like that.
Yeah, from an Easter family meal.
Yeah. And just shot him. And then he claimed he shot like 13 others. Yeah. He's working on 14, but that's still not confirmed. Nope, the police haven't figured out if anybody else is dead yet. So, I don't know. To me, in his video thing, he looked way too calm to have killed 13 people.
Yeah.
May or may not be an expert, but he looked a little too calm.
Yeah, it's just, it's the worst of the worst. I mean, it's
and that, it's 5 states now, shutting down schools, shutting down, I mean, who knows?
It's a $50,000 reward, too, if you find him.
Well, that's not enough money to get me to drive back to the East Coast and search the guy down. But
just to kill an old man for nothing at all.
Yeah, just nothing at all. And then he blames his
ex-girlfriend,
ex-wife, or whatever. Yeah. So he's basically the same thing as that school shooting we had last week that we talked about. Yeah, because that was a guy that went nuts because his wife they were only married a short amount of time, and then he turned out to be like not what she thought he was going to be, according to her mom. And then she separated from him, was living somewhere else, and then he showed up at her school. Because the school knew him already that they were married, they let him in. Yeah. And then he shot her and shot those kids. The one kid ended up dying and then killed himself. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, we've talked about it how many times in this podcast already about communication and relationships and shit like that. Like, just work some shit out, man. Like, be a man, work some shit out.
Yep.
I just don't understand it. My heart has never been broken that much to where I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take people out.
Me either.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, what's the point? Like,
I've never hated anybody that much. I mean, it's just. Yeah.
I'd much rather forget about them and move on with my life than like whatever. You mean nothing to me now. It's a lot easier to do that than to go do some stupid shit like that.
Yeah. Now, hopefully they'll won't say, "Oh, it's mental illness." No, that's not mental illness. You're a freaking killer, and you deserve to be shot and killed. Don't blame mental illness as your choice. So don't use that stupid excuse. Mental illness. No. If they say that,
it's still a mental illness, but I think he's capable of.
So
I think he knows right and wrong.
Yeah,
I think if you know right from wrong, then I don't care about your mental illness. No matter what stage of mental illness you have, if you know the difference between right and wrong, yes and no, like stove is hot, don't touch. If you can figure that out, then you can figure out don't take another human being's life.
I agree.
And no matter what stage you're in of your mental illness,
well, especially when you prepare. I mean, he loaded his gun, put it in his car, drove to a place.
Had time to think. It was. I mean, it was just definitely premeditated.
Yeah,
he tried one entrance and he couldn't get in, so then he did go through the office, and then he emptied his gun, reloaded, and shot himself. Yeah. So there's definitely some planning there. So if you plan it at all, it's lying in wait, and you're done. And should if he killed himself, he's done. This other guy that killed this guy on Facebook Live. He loaded his gun, got his Facebook Live, drove in his car, found somebody, pulled up next to him, shot him, and then had this manifesto and this kind of thing. So, what about that Arkansas trying to execute all those people that got stayed?
I'm all for it.
Yeah, Ellis and I were on here we were watching the hockey games and stuff on Saturday night, and I brought up the article. Dude, I was reading some of those guys' rap sheets and what they've done and stuff like that. Holy shit, those guys all deserve to fucking die, dude.
Yeah.
Put them all on the line, get a real high caliber fucking bullet.
Right. They shoot them right there.
We don't even need your drugs that you're going to expire and stuff like that. Just one fucking round, 2, maybe 3 rounds because there's 8 of them. But
like Valkyrie. See that movie?
Yeah. Oh, they line them people up in a row.
Yeah.
Boom, 1 bullet, 4 or 5 of them go down. Yeah. Reload again, 2 bullets, 2 bullets, then another 3 or 4 go down. Well, that's only 2 bullets instead of, a bullet each. So
I prefer firing squad. Just start at the knees and work your way up.
Ooh, it depends on the crime.
Painful. Yeah.
I think, what do you think about public execution?
That's okay. I think for the family victims to see it, yes, but not for the whole entire world. Only the family victims should be for them to see the people die. That's it.
So like the Old West hanging with that's not a
no
in the square of the town or French the guillotine.
No, only because it's pushed between the family victim and the killer.
Yeah, but if you know what's going on, you could just decide to turn away and walk the other direction, right? You don't have to watch it just because it's going on.
Well, yeah, but I think
you can hide your kids from it because it's going on. But
right.
hey, the hanging is at noon.
Yeah.
The guillotine's coming out at noon.
Right.
Like on this day, if you don't want to be a part of it or see it, stay at home, stay in work, or go walk around this corner over here. You don't have to see it.
To me, it's more of a personal victim one-on-one thing. If I shot someone's family member and I go to jail, I think the family should see me suffer, and that's it, because it's personal, not being anybody else. That's just my opinion about it.
It should be behind closed doors still, but I'm all for we need to use it definitely more often. I don't think we use it enough.
See, to me, if I went to jail or whatever, I'd rather kill myself and stay in life in prison, because I think it's worse being in prison than killing yourself. That's just me.
Yeah, yeah, there are worse things that are going to happen in prison.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think in order for the death penalty to be a true deterrent, you need to use it more often so people realize, hey, if I go to jail for this, I'm going to die within a certain amount of time. Also, if a criminal is seeing people get, public executed, that's like, wait a minute, that's what happened to you? No. Mm-hmm. So they're going to think twice about, oh shit, that's what's going to happen to me. I'm not going to go steal it. I'm not going to rob this liquor store now. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go shoot that guy for no reason. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think there's a deterrent factor there that needs to be considered. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So anyway, this is, like I said, this is episode 12. I might be doing an episode 13 right after this. We promised a 420 episode. Mm-hmm. Waiting on a certain person to come and maybe show up or not. So, but let's just get into at least a topic about it.
Okay.
So, one of the topics this week that came out was that Trump's, who was it,
Kellyanne Conway?
No, not Kellyanne Conway. What's this guy's name? There was a whole article about how basically Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, basically is completely against marijuana on basically all levels. But this other guy who is like Homeland Security, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Homeland Security Director. Mm-hmm. Basically was saying that he's not really worried about the marijuana issues. He's going to stop. He's more focused on stopping, anything coming across the border. He's worried about stopping. Right. Definitely the opioid epidemic and stuff like that's going on right now, which is a huge problem. Mm-hmm. And anything, definitely like heroin, meth, things like that are definitely problems, because I think he realizes that marijuana's here, marijuana's active. It's in a lot of states already. I think 8 states now have
legalized it.
Mm-hmm. And I think 13 or 14 have it for medical legalization. And I think I saw a poll that 60% of the public right now are in favor of of basically legalizing in some way or form. So, what are your thoughts?
I'm all for legalizing marijuana. Now, here's the thing. Let's say if you go to jail for cocaine, heroin, or whatever, the thing is, to me, you're only hurting yourself when you do that, and you could affect others, like break your mom's heart or whatever, but for you to get like 5-10 years because of that stuff, that's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourself. Like, you're only hurting yourself when you do heroin or cocaine. You're killing yourself, not anybody else. Granted, a lot of people on the streets, homeless people, because of that, and they bug the crap out of you. But you should be, like in San Francisco, they have this like law that might be passed where crackheads, if they can go to a safe space and shoot up heroin and stuff like that without bothering anybody. If we can make more of those, I think there's nothing wrong with that. And so back to something, yes, legalize marijuana, and if you're in a safe condition, you can just shoot up drugs without bothering anybody, then go for it.
Now, what if you say it doesn't hurt anybody, it doesn't harm anybody?
Right.
What in those cases what are you doing to get that high? How are you going to pay for that high? How are you going to pay for that drug that you're getting that high? You're going to go rob a house. You're going to go rob a liquor store. You're going to rob somebody. You're going to snatch a purse. You're going to do something stupid. You're going to sell your body out on the street like a prostitute for the quick fix.
Right.
That is now harming other people. What if you have kids and you're doing this in front of them and stuff like that, and you don't now you're not a good parent, and those kids are living in a shithole? You are harming other people because you can't afford to put food on the table or or pay for the electricity or things like that,
Right.
you are basically now harming other people.
Okay. Going back to that point, anything can be a drug. Then coffee, coffee can be a drug. Caffeine's a drug.
There's not a lot of people robbing liquor stores to get a
Right.
coffee high.
That's true, but people are also addicted to coffee and get like migraine and stuff like that. But
You're
people,
comparing a migraine to armed robbery.
anybody can rob anything from anybody. We live in a crazy world, okay? Like, homeless people will go rob you and say, yeah, I'm homeless. I'd rather go to jail because they'll feed me food there.
Yeah, but we don't have any coffee cartels and
That's true.
And you're also talking
doing
about
drive-bys for coffee.
the people who run those methamphetamines and
Right.
run that heroin are gangs, and those gangs are fighting over territory
Right.
because they want to sell in other areas, and they're shooting and killing each other all over an extra block or an extra two
Right.
blocks where they can push and peddle their stuff. So they're also killing people and hurting families.
Okay, well, if we go into that extreme level, then
Well,
you
it's
should
not
get
extreme
help.
level. These are facts.
Oh, yeah,
They're
then you should get help
There
then.
are people that you can't. The extreme level is saying, oh, it's just nobody's getting hurt by it except that person.
Right.
Well, that's not the case at all. There's many, many cases where, I mean, for that drug to come all the way from Mexico
Yeah.
or from the Golden Triangle in Southeast Asia
Right.
to make it all the way here, how many people's lives have been put in jeopardy because of that?
Yeah, many.
So
Many.
So therefore, it's not this
Okay.
this is only hurting this one person.
Well, if it's this, do you think the same thing with alcohol? Because people can go homeless over alcohol. We see that a lot of times.
True,
So-
but alcohol is also regulated, and there's not people killing each other for the
Alcohol.
territory to sell alcohol.
Right, but people kill.
Vaughn's is not going, or Stater Brothers is not in a war with
Right.
Albertsons because they want to sell more alcohol.
True, but look how many people. Well, how many people got killed for drinking and driving?
True, and
Same
how many
thing.
people have been killed from any DUI?
Right.
Driving under the influence
Yeah.
is driving under the influence. It's not
Right.
alcohol related. So when
true.
you look at the 38,000 people have died
Right.
from DUIs,
Yes.
that also includes drugs.
Or drugs. Okay, wait, we talked about
It
this.
includes, it includes medical drugs.
Yeah.
It includes any type of subscription you're abusing. It's driving under the influence. It's not necessarily alcohol related alone.
Okay.
So that stat has always been skewed.
Okay, we talked about this on an earlier podcast too about that. Well, I said my piece on it.
I just,
as
as far as marijuana goes,
what do you think?
I think, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again on the next podcast I do. I don't have a problem with people smoking weed. Okay, I don't want them to necessarily smoke it around me. I think it should be regulated like cigarettes and like alcohol.
Okay.
I think there needs to be more studies done on marijuana to find out what really is in it, what is in all these cannabinoids and all this stuff. What's actually in it, how it actually affects us. The government needs to deregulate it in a way so it can be studied more. But I also don't think that kids 16, 17 should be smoking it. There are studies that say the human brain doesn't get fully developed until 25,
Yep.
and if you smoke it on a regular basis or even even not part-time basis, in between that developmental stage of your brain, it's permanently damaged and it will never fully develop. So there are things bad with it. It is smoke. You are inhaling smoke. There's things bad with that. So that's why you shouldn't be able to smoke it anywhere. Like they shouldn't have a smoking patio, like smoke outside your bar, and people are smoking marijuana out there too.
Right.
I don't think that should happen. I think it needs to be an adult thing like alcohol, like over 21, over the age of 25, figure out what the actual medical thing is on it. And yeah, legalize it, tax it, and let the states and cities and counties and federal government make money off of it. And then you don't have these wars going on for who's moving the stuff across the border, what cartel is doing this, what cartel is doing that. You don't have mass killings in like Nogales, Mexico, and El Paso, and even down in TJ somewhat. You don't have all these problems now because you regulated the industry.
Yeah.
Alcohol. When the Prohibition hit, and the mafia, the Chicago mob, and everybody took over, and the Jersey mob and the purple gang up in Detroit, and the Kennedys, all this stuff. All those guys were killing each other for alcohol. So yes, alcohol did have that problem. It doesn't now.
Okay.
So I want marijuana not to have that problem now, 30, 40 years from now.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be dying and shit and shot in the street because people need to get high. I think that's stupid.
Okay. What do you think, Ellis?
I'm all for regulation. Like I said, regulation is fine if for medical use, fine for private use at your own home. But yeah, it'll take the steam from the cartels and the gangs and whatnot if it's regulated, taxed, and so on. And if you have a proven use, legit use for it, by all means. A lot of people don't want to pop pills and aspirins and whatnot.
Yeah, and there are benefits. I mean, marijuana, THC. I don't know if it's THC or the marijuana itself, because I'm not a botanist, but it is an anti-inflammatory in a way as well. So people that have are going through MCL and ACL tears or have bad backs and things like that, it's an anti-inflammatory. They were giving it to cancer patients not because it was treating cancer, but because cancer patients, when they go on what's the
chemo?
The chemo,
Yeah.
Chemo kills your taste buds. I remember my mom went through it, and she didn't want to eat anything because everything tasted like crap. It just everything was bland.
Yep.
So they give you the marijuana because it causes the munchies, and it gives you that craving to eat something. Because when you're on chemo, chemo kills everything in your system. It kills everything, every bad cell, every healthy cell. Only the healthy cells come back. And that's why it works, because if you're healthy enough, the healthy cells come back. When it kills everything and it kills your taste buds, because those are cells, you still need your proteins, you still need your foods, your sugars, all that you need in you, natural proteins, things like that, carbohydrates, all that kind of stuff to get healthy, a healthy, balanced diet. But chemo patients weren't eating, and therefore they weren't getting better. They were dying of other reasons, not necessarily cancer. So medical marijuana causes people to have the munchies. Guess what? The munchies you're going to eat. So you're going to eat something. That's all it was. It's not it's not curing cancer. So it is an anti-inflammatory. There are some other benefits, but there's also downfalls to it. So let's really find out what it is. And I think that's the main problem. Also, you talked about the DUI thing. How do you test for marijuana on the spot? Nevada just is going to I think they're at a 5 nanograms thing that has to be in your blood, and it has to be a blood test only. And that blood test takes 100 days, 45 days to 100 days to come back, and costs like $300.
Wow.
So if it takes 100 days, to come back from the lab, that's that's a third of a year gone. Quarter of a year gone. By the time you find out if you were driving under the influence or not, there needs to be a way to test on the spot right then and there. Or you go to a no tolerance law. If you have anything in your system at all, they do a swab. They can do a saliva swab, but that's not that accurate. And even these nanograms part, I was reading that you could have 10 to 15 nanograms in right as soon as you take a big hit, right, or smoke a joint or whatever. 20 minutes later, you could be down to 1 nanogram. It goes away that quickly. So there's this whole, who knows the testing the testing isn't there for DUIs. Now, people do say that, like you mentioned earlier, DUI is alcohol. Well, it's not just alcohol. There are people getting DUI, and people get fucking high, and their eyes are baked, and they're all fucking red, and people take a fucking hit, and they sink down into a couch they're falling into a fucking coma. That person should not be driving at that moment because their senses are not there.
I agree.
So how do you test for that?
There has to be a way. I don't know personally how to test. You have to figure out something.
That's the bottom line.
Said,
and that's without testing it and without having this, because it's considered a class 1 drug right now federally. It's still federally illegal. These states are doing what they want, but it's still federally illegal. For all these marijuana dispensaries and things that are popping up, they can't put their money in a bank, right? Because their money is used through something that is illegal, that's not FDIC protected. So they could be, there's this whole nightmare of legality shit that needs to get figured out. If you declassify it as a Schedule 1 drug, make it a Schedule 2 or 3 even, then it opens up to more universities, more scientific people can, universities as far as their science departments can study this thing. That's what needs to happen. So,
another problem is there's so many different strains of it.
Yeah.
This joint's just going to get you a little buzz. This one's going to knock you off your feet.
Yep.
It's hard like that. You got to study the different strains and different types of.
Well, it's not just smoking anymore too. It's oils. It's rubbing. They have butters and stuff now. You can rub on your skin.
Edibles.
You have edibles.
Yeah.
You have stuff you rub on your skin. You have oils. You have wax. You have these concentrate THC levels. They do edibles that are 1,000%, or something like that. THC or whatever it is. I mean, that's knock you on your ass. You're seeing it's more of a hallucinogenic point at that point. Like you're gonna see, dancing fucking colorful
unicorns.
No, it's the little bear things from the Grateful Dead, the little different colored elephants and shit like that dancing around.
Pink elephants.
Sugar plum fairies and stuff like that. Yeah, pink elephants and do looking out my back door. I mean, there's some. It's gonna cause some weird shit. It's not like. The joints of the 60s in Woodstock is not what they're smoking today.
Right.
I mean, there's a huge difference in potency. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's enough marijuana talk for now because I'm going to probably get into it in a couple hours here and talk about a bunch of different topics about it. So, anyway, tell me about the NBA playoffs.
So the first game, a lot of upsets actually. The Clippers lost to Utah by a buzzer beater, so that's good. They played tonight too. Cleveland won. And Isaiah Thomas pushed for him because his sister died in a car accident like 2 days. Oh, yes.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago, yeah. And he still played the game after. He had 33 points. Unfortunately, they lost. But the whole NBA sent out tweets and prayers for him. So it's cool how the NBA got together for them for him.
Let me ask you that. Ellis, you played college ball. If an emotional thing like that. When at the beginning of the game they do this tribute and they show him and he's crying and all, should that be shown on TV or should that just be a private moment with him and his teammates and things like that?
That's a
I don't know.
question.
That's I don't know. I felt kind of weird when I saw the highlights of that, going, man, he's totally bawling and crying and his teammates are crying with him, and it was a little weird to me. I don't know. It's
good to show it so other people can see what he's going through and offer prayers and help if they want to. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'd be all for him either way. If he did want to play, I'd understand. If he plays, I understand because you want to, go to your job and do your thing. I mean, you want to be as normal as can be in that situation. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be hard, but everyone deals with it differently.
Charles Barkley, he said that he shouldn't have been playing. It made him look weak or whatever. I'm like, dude, that's not. Okay, yeah, he shouldn't have been playing, but.
Did they win the game?
No, they lost.
Oh, well, they should have been playing.
So,
well,
it's your best player on the team to playoff. It's your job.
And that's a personal choice of that player.
Yeah.
I mean, if he feels he needs to go out there and do that to take his mind off it, because otherwise you're just going to sit there and think about everything.
Right.
It's not going to do you any good sometimes. It's better to just get back into a routine,
It could expire in person. I mean, when Buster Douglas knocked out Tyson, his mom died a week before.
Yep.
So you just never know how it's going to affect the person.
You see it all the time. People lose their dads or this or that. I mean, it's happened numerous times.
And Brett Favre, his dad died. He killed us Raider fans, destroyed us. So
it's, like I said, it's a personal choice. If they feel like they can't play, then the coach goes, okay, well, I understand you can't play. And fans should realize that too and not get on him for if he didn't play and you cost us that game because you didn't play or this, or you cost us that game because you did play and weren't at your full potential. Shut the fuck up, man. It's his choice. If he feels he can go play, go play. Who do you guys think? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. That's people with the gambling problem. They're so tunnel vision that you got to play this and that because I got money in the game. I mean that's what that is to me.
Yeah, and just rabid fans too. Just this fan that's and now it's everybody has a podcast. Everybody has a comment section on every story. You read the comment sections on. I do not read comment sections. I think it's ridiculous. I've scrolled through a few and going, what? These people are way off the mark. Where are they coming up with it? It's a bunch of bullshit. So I don't even bother anymore. It's so ridiculous. He's getting in fucking wars, and it'll be a sports story, and everybody's like, "Well, it's Obama's fault." Well, fuck off, or it's Trump's fault. No, it's like shit, man.
That's why I don't bet.
You got to separate your. I use I'll gamble on certain sports. I hardly ever gamble on teams I like.
Okay.
Because I don't want my wallet and my heart and my head on the same. My head's in the game anyways. My heart is with my team, and I don't want my wallet attached to it too.
Right.
I need to have a separation there. I can't if my team loses and I lost money because of it. That's like a double whammy. I can't do it. So I'll bet other sports. I can bet basketball because I don't really care about it. I can bet horse races because none of it really matters to me. So things like that I can bet. I mean, but I rarely ever bet hockey, and I never bet MMA. So. It's just one of those things. I love those sports too much to get my wallet to get financially involved with a decision that even though I know the sport and I like the Daniel Cormier fight, I And I would have made money because Anthony Johnson, I believe, was the favorite in that fight. So I would have made money because I just felt that I can't say no. I just felt that Daniel Cormier was going to win that one.
I mean, after all the point shaving scandals in the 80s and the 90s, those were, and I mean, guys, especially in college, guys know that kids need money, and
Yep.
Some low-level mobster approaches a kid and says, "Okay, win the game, but make sure you only win by 8."
Yeah. Oh, when with the Lake and Sacramento referee who went to jail because of that?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, it could easily be. I mean, I have a theory about. I'm not a big conspiracy theory person, but there are times where I've thought that sports could easily be controlled by referees and judges and things like that.
Do you think this last Super Bowl, you think that was rigged?
Who won the Super Bowl this last year?
The Patriots?
No.
It was 3-28, and they came back the third quarter somehow. And
no, they're the Patriots.
No.
They're just a better team.
Okay.
Patriots are a better team than another team choked.
Right,
Combination.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was experience versus inexperience, sitting back on a lead instead of keeping the game plan that you had going into it.
Yeah.
Hold on to the ball and score more points, right? Is that the
you know what they say about the prevent defense, prevent the win.
Prevent you from winning. So speaking about NBA though, still, who do you guys think is who's going to win?
Spurs.
The Spurs. Wow. Okay, I'd say it's going to be Cleveland or Boston.
Cleveland or Boston?
Yep.
I think the Spurs will win because the Spurs to me are just the best complete team.
So you think Spurs? Okay, definitely coming out of the West. Who's the East team for you, Ellis?
I would say Cleveland or Boston. I would agree with that.
And who's your West team?
Golden State.
Other than Dallas Mavericks.
We didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, what?
So
okay.
That's okay. Yeah, I'd say the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I clearly don't know.
Right.
I don't even know all the teams that are in right now. So
I just think the Spurs are just the most complete team in this year in, year out. I mean, as long as Popovich is there, they always got a chance.
Right.
That's just a complete 1-12 team.
When's the last time they won?
2012? No, 13?
Been 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
And then
They beat Cleveland.
Beat Cleveland, I
Yeah,
think.
no, Miami.
Miami.
Cleveland won last year, right? And
Yeah.
the year before was Golden State.
Golden State.
Okay.
Then the year that was the
Who won?
Spurs.
Who was in it last year? Was it Cleveland and
Cleveland,
Golden State?
yeah.
And then who was in it the year before?
Cleveland, Golden State.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
so my pick is going to be Cleveland, Golden State, with Golden State winning it this year.
Okay.
There we go. I'm taking the pick.
All right.
Since I don't know any other teams, we just talked about a few teams. I only know 4 of them that are in. NHL, yeah, it's still my picks are still my picks.
Right.
Pittsburgh, like I said, is going to be my dark horse out of the East,
Okay.
and they're 3-0. The Capitals had an overtime game the other night that was crazy.
Oh, man.
And then, so we had there's some good series going on right now. There's a couple of teams that are beating some crappy teams right now, so that's fine. That's expected. But, I think Chicago's down 3 games.
Yeah,
the Blues are looking really good for some
Yeah.
strange years, and they skated in on a wild card, and they're playing really well.
Well,
That Edmonton-San Jose game, though, man, that series is going back and forth. I think one of those teams is going to be hard to beat in the West. The Blues may or may not hold this run. The Ducks absolutely suck still, even though they're up 2 games.
2-0.
But, yeah, they're up 2-0, but that game should have been tied because there was a goal that was clearly disallowed.
Oh, yeah, we were watching that.
There was
we were
also,
watching that.
It's once again the Ducks win a very close game. They win 1-goal games. They're not they don't put teams away.
So just like when the Kings win the Stanley Cup game, how many game did they win?
Yeah, well,
by luck, all of it by luck.
Okay, so in 2012, how many they went up 4-0 on 2 different teams,
Okay.
and I think they won. They were almost going to beat the record for the least number of games played to reach the finals, to reach the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they
So
cleaned house that year.
you need 16 wins total. There's 4 rounds.
Yeah.
So you have 3 rounds that get you, or 2 rounds, then you go to the Western, or you go to the conference finals, then you have the Stanley Cup round. So there's 4 rounds, all 7-game series. I believe the Kings won 20 games or 21 games. They played 20 or 21 games.
Okay.
I believe the record is 19 games played, so you have to win 16. So the Kings in 2012, the first time they won the Cup, were a dominant team. The second time they needed a couple of game 7s. They came back from a 3-0 deficit, a 3-0 deficit against San Jose. They came at 3-0 in games. They won 4 in a row. Then they had to come back against Chicago, went to game 7. Even the finals went to a game 7, and one of them was even an overtime, I believe, as well. So Yeah, sometimes you have to skate by, but they were still a better team. So they're not like they still, when they win, they are not winning by one goal here, one goal there, or in tie games. The Ducks made the playoffs because they had, I think, 15 or 16 games that went into overtime for the season. Well, each one of those you got a point for.
Right.
So their win-loss record really isn't that impressive, and they do this every year, year in, year out. I challenge anybody to look at the stats because I know I'm right because I've looked at them before. So my pick is still Capitals, and then, like I said, Pittsburgh.
I say Ducks and Blackhawks, but Blackhawks are falling apart right now. So
you said you didn't want the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, I don't, and I'm happy about to be eliminated because it'll be the Ducks' easier chance to win the Stanley Cup. So right now, I get to play Ducks and St. Louis, the Blues.
That's still in the West. So who's your East team?
Is San Jose in it?
Yeah, that's West.
I know they're pretty tough.
Pittsburgh. Gotta go with Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, the way they're playing right now, and they're playing with the backup. They're playing with Fleury, their backup goaltender, who was their goaltender, by the way, for a couple of different Stanley Cups, and he's been there a long time. He's definitely a grade A goaltender, Hall of Famer for sure. But he is the backup right now, technically. Their other goalie, I believe, is injured or got hurt or pulled a groin or something. I don't know exactly what it is. But Pittsburgh's playing lights out right now.
Okay.
And they're playing, and that's a tough division. I mean, New York looked good,
yeah, but
then Montreal came back, and then wait a minute, New York. So I mean, I think I've said it before. I'll keep saying it. The winner's coming out of the East this year.
Okay, who do you think, Ellis?
The Ducks have a chance as long as they keep jumping ahead in series. 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. If they keep doing that, then I'll give them a chance. If it becomes a grind, they might be in trouble.
All right. So that's that. And then in some breaking news right now that just came in a couple hours ago, it looks like there might be a new UFC announcement for UFC 213, which would be in July, which I believe is the fight week, which is like literally there's a fight Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of that week.
Wow.
So I believe also like that Friday would be like the Ultimate Fighter finale, which will be Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw. But probably for, I think that Saturday fight is UFC 213, and it looks like one of the fights, it's not official yet, but it could be Conor McGregor versus Tyrone Woodley for the 170-pound weight belt class, which means Conor McGregor would once again jump weights, might have 3 belts, and still never have defended a belt. So basically Tyrone Woodley says, I'm training, getting ready for a fight in July. I don't give a fuck who I'm fighting. I believe was the exact words. Yep. I'm starting camp and not giving a fuck who the fight is against or what it pays. I'm the best. It is time to prove it no matter the pay or what people say. Yeah. Now, he said this last thing. Basically, that last fight where it was the rematch, he talked all kinds of shit about he's going to go in there and finish it and go in there and finish it and then went to a decision. So, and he looked kind of sluggish. He won it, but he looked sluggish. But, I don't know. That's a fight I would like to see.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that fight.
McGregor would kick his ass, hopefully.
McGregor's coach said that he said a few days ago, Tyrone would be an easy fight. He said he's not that tough. Now, he's strong. He's definitely stronger than Conor. Right. But I bet they're about the same size. I bet Conor has a reach on him, but Tyrone Woodley has more power. Tyrone Woodley can wrestle, but he relies on his boxing and his strength of his boxing, like as far as power punches. McGregor relies not on his power of punches, but his precise quickness and where he lands. When he throws that punch, it's landing where he throws it. Right. He tore apart Eddie Alvarez. He landed that counter against Aldo and flattened him with one punch.
Yeah, like 30 seconds.
He has what people are calling the left hand from God. He literally throws that left hand out there, and it lands on your chin or your temple or wherever it is, your jawline, and you're going out. I mean, he is so precise with that. But I would love to see this fight.
Yeah.
Let's go, UFC. Dana White, everybody make this fight happen. Conor McGregor versus Tyrone Woodley. I don't care what fight. They can make it a 160 class, 165, make it 190. Who gives a fuck? I want to see those guys fight.
That'd be a great fight. I would like to see that.
Who do you want to win? Who do you pick?
Ooh.
There's never been a person in the UFC to hold 3 different belts.
I would favor McGregor, but he can't let Woodley get in sight on him.
Ooh, no. He couldn't. Yeah, he can't do that at all.
That's lights out if he does that.
Yeah, he's got to use his leg kicks, keeping a distance, and throw them, keep them hands going. If he gets in a dirty boxing kind of thing, I mean, Woodley's just going to overpower him. He's going to out-wrestle him, throw him to the ground, and beat up on him.
Yeah. So all for McGregor then.
Yeah, I would say.
I didn't say yet.
Well, we get to pick now.
I don't know. The fight's not. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, he doesn't know.
I like McGregor, but I can't call him a champ because he's not defended a belt yet. I want him to defend a belt. I'm sick of this not defending a belt.
Okay.
So Woodley's gone 4-0-1 over his past 5 fights. It says right here. So I'm just giving some stats. He beat Carlos Condit, Kevin Gastelum, Robbie Lawler, and Stephen Thompson in that time. All right, so we'll see. Hopefully that fight can come.
That'd be a good fight, though.
Come to fruition, because that would be really fun. I don't know what's our time left here. We have a few minutes, maybe. I don't know, 17 minutes, 15 minutes, but we can keep going.
I think Coachella just ended this weekend too.
Well, did it end or is it going on?
Oh, still good. First weekend ended, yeah.
It's one weekend.
And like all of my friends went, and basically the reviews are saying it's more about the trends instead of the music actually this year. So I was like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So like, okay, it's all what are you wearing? Stuff like who cares? Like, enjoy the music.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion about that.
The problem with Coachella too is I've seen in the past few years, because of where it's at out there in Indio, it's so hot and so dusty and windy that everybody's wearing like these they have to wear face masks and stuff, like t-shirts and stuff over, or like scarves and stuff over their face because they can't breathe all the dust in, and then it's more about just drinking and getting fucked up, and then not really caring. Like, it is more of a fashion show and more of a, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw some on the news. Some guy, they caught some guy. He stole 100 cell phones.
Oh yeah.
And they got someone back to the owners. But yeah, he stole. He had a big bag of cell phones. He stole 100 cell phones. But they caught him.
Yeah, download if you have an iPhone. Download, find your phone. That's how most of the people found him. Like So download the app, find my iPhone. I did. So
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm always a little behind on technology. What was he going to do with those?
I'd probably sell them. Like, I don't know.
You can
deprogram them, and
you can erase them and then resell them. But I mean, they're all serialized. So but you could sell them quick. I mean, it's a $500, $600 phone retail new. I bet you can go sell them for $100 a piece somewhere. It's some little phone shop somewhere will fucking sell it. So I don't know. Oh, okay. So we talked about that United flight last week.
Okay.
Did you see the other video?
Yeah, how he when somehow got back to.
No, the video when there's a video that's looking from behind. The person behind him in the seat was recording as well.
Right.
Oh, so we saw another video of where he was getting dragged out. The lady's going, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And all this. Okay, there's a video from the person behind him when the cops are at the police or airport police are at talking to him. The cops are standing there with their hands on their hands folded, hands on their hips kind of thing, talking to the guy going, "Hey, you got to get off the plane." He goes, "I'm not getting off this plane. You're gonna have to make." He goes, the guy says, "You're gonna have to drag me off this plane."
Wow.
And then well, I guess the cop went, "Well, all right, looked at each other. I guess we're going to have to drag you off the plane."
Wow.
So he's the one that brought up getting dragged off the plane. So I don't know. So it's, I don't think this guy is totally innocent like he was made out to be originally. And then that guy's got some other scandalous shit in his past too, but that doesn't apply to what happened
today. Yeah.
But still.
Well, it's the friendly skies. I guess on the tarmac is something else.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, on the tarmac. Good thing the plane was still on the ground.
Yeah.
But he they basically said, "Hey, you're gonna have to drag me off the plane." Right. So if you're a police officer and this guy's not willing to go, and he goes, "You're gonna have to drag me off." Well, guess what? You're gonna get dragged off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't their idea; it was your idea. So there goes. I think that should automatically kick your lawsuit out.
Okay.
Right. I mean, in a way, or definitely decrease it by 80%.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should. Well, yeah.
He got hurt still, so he'll get something
money
for that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Fuck that guy. Anyway, any other music coming up?
I have nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
me neither. There's a Plains of Fame air show. We kind of talked about that last week. Coming up here in May. There's a fabulous Fords Forever show that's going to be down at Knott's Berry Farm. It's a really good car show.
Okay.
If you're into Fords, It's every Ford make, model, engine size, everything down there. Trucks, Mustangs, old, current. They take over that whole parking lot on the across the street from Knott's Berry Farm there. And it's a fun show. I haven't been to it in years. I went to it years and years ago when I was a kid, actually. And like I said, my business is photography, and I was taking pictures there. It's the first gig I ever made money on. Was I was just down there taking pictures, and was walking around and saw this really cool, like reddish orange, burnt orange Ford Cobra. Took pictures of it and talked to the guy who was there, and I said, "Hey, like I know I have good pictures of your car. Do you want these or something like that?" So I ended up printing them out, I printed out like he gave me his address. I mailed him like 3x5s or whatever the size of photos would, 4x6s or something like that. Mailed them out to him, and then went. He picked one out that he liked, and I blew it up to like big poster size, and I charged him like $20 for it or $25 for it or something like that. And it was the first ever job I got paid for, and I was probably. Man, I think it was like 14 or 15. I don't think I was driving. I think my parents drove me down there for that show. I've been a few other times. It's a good show, so I'm gonna try to make it again. It's coming up in a couple of weeks here, I think. So, and I think it's on Sunday actually. So I think it might be this coming Sunday actually. But it's a good show. I mean, it's a car show.
Sounds good.
Radio stuff going on, giveaways, barbecue food, all that kind of fun stuff. So, but yeah, there's not. I'm glad that summer's kind of getting here, though. Yeah. Getting some warmer weather now.
More music festivals.
Music festivals. Yeah. Get people outdoors. Go to the beach.
Yeah.
The other good thing about the summer weather is women wear less clothes.
Yeah.
So it's always a good thing here in California for that. Not to mean that we're only doing like it for that, but it is a nice perk of living in California.
Yeah. And we're out of the drought now officially. That's a good.
Well, for now, until next year, and then they'll say we're back in the drought. So, but so that's pretty much it. We got.
I noticed a lot of colleges had their spring games. The last few weeks. That's going on. Spring football for college.
Yep.
Training and everything. So that's always fun.
Then the NFL draft is 2 weeks from now. The 27th.
Yeah. No, it's
next week.
Less than 2 weeks. Actually, I think. Yeah. Starts on
next Thursday. Yeah. So.
Starts next Thursday.
Good luck to everybody getting drafted.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
It's always fun to kind of watch the first few rounds and see the people who really think they're going to go big, and then they sit there forever and ever and ever, and then like, oh wait, I'm not going right away.
Like Johnny Manziel, he had to beg Cleveland to pick him.
Yep. So.
And you get a few surprises.
And look what happened. Where's he at now?
He's making trying to make a comeback. He said he was going to talk to the Saints, but I don't think they're going to sign him.
There's been a lot of hype about players recently.
Yes,
Johnny Manziel, Tebow, and they're not. I mean, there's a lot of this college hype that doesn't pan out all the time. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they should go back to playing more years in college. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. I would like to say, like we always say, Havoc Pools for giving us some money and putting this out there for us and stuff like that. But the owners of Havoc Pool are Joe and Rebecca, and they also wanted me to say that they're also part owners of Tilted Kilt here in Chino. So they said that, give them a shout out, and they can feel free to go into Tilted Kilt in Chino, and they got great food, some great food. I'm not going to say it's all great. I'm going to be honest with my plug here. They do have some really good menu items. They got a lot of good craft beer right now. Yeah. They got a lot of good bartenders right now that make some really good drinks. And it's a fun place. I believe their tagline is a cold beer never looks so good. They do free pool on Mondays. They have
Taco Tuesdays.
Taco Tuesday. They wing it Wednesday. There's karaoke Thursday. They have live bands on Friday. They do a DJ on Saturday nights. And they're doing a new thing. I think they're trying out a Sunday Fun Day where they bring in an extra bartender and have like some Jenga games and the cornhole games and the I think we have to call it water pong because we can't technically call it beer pong for them. But they do some games and then they have some karaoke for that and maybe some trivia again and things like that. So
all day happy hour on Sunday.
All day happy hour, yeah. So there's some good things to go down there. So go check out Tilted Kilt here in Chino and tell the owners or anybody there that you heard about them on the HardHeaded Productions podcast. So once again, thanks for listening.
I'm Brandon.
Ellis.
And I'm John. So once again, thanks. Talk to you later.
Right.